Don't lose your way. Your mind free how to be as one.
What is up, YouTube? Storm here coming at you guys with this video today. I know I promised the train deck profile, so I thought I'd go ahead and bring it to you guys tonight so you guys can get a look at what my train list would look like once we do get Dragons of Legend Unleashed and we do get the last few train cards that we are missing. So with all of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. So if you guys don't know what trains are, I will have a rank 10 Yu-Gi-Oh's video linked down in the description box. He does a very detailed explanation of card choices, and I do admit some of my choices are, from his video, so, I always give credit where credit is due. But the rank 10 train variant is basically, built around summoning, the rank 10s, particularly number 81, which is a rank 10 Belgrand on its own. The other thing is how the deck is very good and how disruptive it can be. Daracrane can detach itself from any Earth Machine type monster and then pop a card, including your own. It can pop any card your opponent controls, which is really nice. And it's a pretty consistent deck, especially when you mix it in with the OCG, like the OCG did when Construct got banned with the Shaddolls. And it's a pretty explosive deck too. Just the amount of massive monsters you can put on the field is pretty incredible, and it's just a really fun deck. Is it anything that's going to anything to write home about? No, the deck doesn't really play well with floaters. So there's not really, because of the way the deck is built, there's not a lot of room for traps to stop things. But all that way, let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, the first train we play is, of course, 3 copies of Night Express Knight. This is one of the European train exclusives that we're going to be getting in Dragon's Legend Unleashed. The good thing is, I believe it is an ultra rare, although the total rarities have not been confirmed. It was not listed in the secret rares, but Night Express Knight cannot be special summoned from the deck, so it means you can't grab it with a field spell, but you can normal summon this card without tributing, but its original attack becomes 0. That can be made irrelevant by some of the cards we play in our deck, but typically most of your combos revolve around normal summoning this card. Next up, we have 3 copies of Heavy Freight Train Daracrane. This was given to us in Dark Illusion, so it's a common, I believe, in the set. And then, so Daracrane's effect is whenever an Earth Machine monster is normal or special summoned to your side of the field, except during the damage type, you can special summon this card from your hand, but its original attack and defense is halved. So, and as we stated earlier, you can detach it from an Earth Machine, from an Exceed monster, and since the graveyard, you can pop a card your opponent controls. So that allows you, a lot of, things you would normally have trouble with, like with the deck with big monsters, is Utopia Lightning. You can just, before your opponent goes to battle phase, you can detach and pop their card. Outside of Kaijus, there's not really a lot of ways that they can play around that. A lot of people forget to, forget Daracrane's effect. Then we have 3 copies of Ruffian Railcar. So Ruffian Railcar's main effect, the first effect, I've used it maybe once in playtesting, and it was kind of irrelevant in that situation. So it's much like a Scarm. So during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard, because since there's turn, you can add 1 level 10 Earth Machine monster from your deck to your hand. So this obviously it would be a lot better if it instantly searches, but this card can get you out of a lot of bad bricks and a lot of bad situations, and you can also dump it from deck for a Shaddoll fusion, which is really, really nice. Then for the text, we have 1 copy of Malefic Cyber End Dragon. This card obviously sees a lot of play with decks with skill drain, for example, but Malefic Cyber End Dragon, obviously you can special summon it by removing a Cyber End Dragon from your extra deck, and it's a level 10 and it's a machine, which means you can overlay for it to make your it's basically just another level 10 body, and a 4k attack is not bad at all. Then we have 1 copy of Exodius, the Ultimate Forbidden Lord. So this card saw a little bit of play early on in Shaddolls, and it's seen some play in the Train Shaddoll variant, so it's a level 10. Its effect, it cannot be normal. The way it cannot be normal summoned or set, but it special summons itself by returning all monsters from your graveyard into the deck. The great thing is this allows you to recycle your entire train and Shaddoll engine back into your deck for future plays. And the other important thing to remember about Exodius is that it's a summoning condition, which means even if they Solemn Warning it, it cannot stop it, which is one of the things that makes it so good. Then for the Shaddolls, we have 3 beasts. 3 beasts may seem like a lot, may seem a little cloggy, but most of the time, if you have Switchyard, and your train engine going, it's there for fusion fodder, and drawing more cards is never bad. Then we have 2 Squamatas. I don't play 3 because obviously without Construct, the Shaddoll engine is pretty nerfed, but I always like 2 just for that reason. Then we have 1 copy of Shaddoll Dragon because, back row is not really being played as much, but Dragon is still not a bad card on its own. 2 Hedgehogs to search our fusion spell, and then 2 Falcos. I might bump this down to 1 because I just don't have room in my extra deck for synchros. Then for the spell cards, I play 3 Revolving Switchyard. This card is by far the best card. This gets the whole engine going. So the first effects of level 10 Earth Machine monster is normal or special summon except during the damage step. You can special summon 1 level 4 Earth Machine with 1800 or more attack from your deck, and if you do, its level becomes 10. So this effect, you're not going to use it too much, but it can get you out of some bricky hands. Being able to get Switchyard straight from your deck and then get a search in the end phase is pretty nice. And then the other effect is obviously your opponent doesn't take any more battle damage this turn if you activate that effect, but that doesn't prevent your Gustav Max from inflicting damage. Important thing to remember. So you can send 1 card, either effects, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, then add 1 level 10 Earth Machine once effect per turn. And obviously you can only activate either effect once per turn. So this gets your whole engine going, and it's so important that you have to run 3 terraformings for obvious reasons. This card is the deck, and it's the reason it even is a thing. So you have 2 copies of Forbidden Chalice. This is one of my texts in the deck. Basically, this is the same theory as Cleese. A lot of your monsters are big, but they don't have low attack points. So a lot of times you can just summon a Night Express Knight and then go to damage step and chalice it, and it'll go to 3400. Plus, like Clifford monsters, it'll reset itself to its normal attack, which is really, really good. And it's also a double use card, and I love double use cards. 1 Soul Charge. I don't play the Fiend Monster Reborn for this deck. I think it's called Special Schedule. It's not bad, but I feel like Soul Charge is better in this deck because you don't care about your battle phase. Most of the time, you're just gonna make a big board full of Doras, and it's not going to matter whether your opponent has anything. Aren't gonna be able to play anyways. So that's one of the main theories with Soul Charge over something like Special Schedule. We have 2 copies of Twin Twisters for clearing out that pesky back row and unclogging bad hands. 1 Regeki for clearing off annoying monsters and clearing off the domain lock because we do use our extra deck quite a bit. 3 copies of Terraforming, as I stated earlier, for searching Switchyard. 3 Shaddoll Fusion. Shaddoll Fusion is still an incredible card. Being able to fuse straight from the deck is never bad. And then we have the 1 El Shaddoll Fusion, because even without Construct, this card wins games on its own. We have for the traps, the 1 Core for making our fusions a little easier. The 1 Skill Drain, it's a train staple that turns your Derek Cranes and your Knights to their normal attack points, and if it ever comes off the Forbidden list, I'd play more than the 1 Solemn Warning for, it's the best trap card in the game at the moment, in my opinion. Now for the extra deck, for the fusions, I play 2 Shekanagas and 2 Windas. These are kind of like, some builds I've seen play 3 Sheks, and it's definitely not a bad idea, but personally I've never gone into more than the 2nd Shek really often in this deck, and the same thing goes for Winda. I feel like these are Shek main thing with Shek is that it's a level 10 Earth Machine. So if you have the field spell out and you have a kind of bricky hand, you can Shaddoll Fuse for Shek and then you can trigger your Switchyard effect, grabbing a rail card from your deck and then making your Dora. That's one of the better combos in the deck, and it can get you out of a lot of bricks. Winda is not as good as she used to be, but she's still, against a lot of decks, she can force them to fold if they don't have an out. Then 1 Cyber End Dragon, because we play Malefic Cyber End. The 2 Doras, I've gone back and forth between 2 and 3, but I've never really had the need to make the second one. Typically, I feel like if I could make the third one, I should have won at that point. The 1 Gustav Max for burning our opponent from game. The 1 Sky Palace for clearing off annoying threats. The 1 Dreadnought Galaxy the 1 Galaxy Destroyer. I don't really go into it that much, but you can, so you do. And then 2 of the each of the spiders. And then 1 Seventh Sins. These are actually really, really good cards because they can clear the massive board removal they offer is really, really good. And Ravenous Tarantula can power up your Dora to insane numbers of attack, and same thing goes for number 84 as well. And Seven Sins, it can being able to just freely banish all special summon monsters your opponent controls is amazing, and the protection is really, really good. So anyway, guys, as always, thank you guys for watching my video today. I really appreciate when you guys watch my videos. And let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of this deck profile. And as always, thank you guys for watching. So Orstorm, signing out.